What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DX Gamer Show and my Stardrive Let's Play for Friday, April 26th, 2013. My name is OperationDx, and we are here on episode 3. Let's go ahead and recap last episode. So, we captured a remnant-guarded world for our first planet. It was a pretty good one. We met the last race that we're going to meet in this Let's Play, the Polyps. We got yet another artifact, which is our third one, and we got the Quantanium Lathe, which gives us 10% bonus to module hit points. And then we managed to get 2 more heavy drones. Now, in the previous episodes, it kept calling them cruisers, but they're actually frigates. And sorry guys, my bad. I had to find out the hard way with the commenter telling me, no DX, you are incorrect, they are not cruisers. Because, in fact, the cruisers in this game are quite large, and hopefully we'll see that a little bit later on. So in this episode, we're pretty much going to grab the last couple anomalies, and we'll have that all finished up. And then we're probably going to go ahead and grab one more remnant guarded world, so we have a nice couple of planets to work from where we can start getting things done. Especially we'll need that critical amount of population for getting our research and stuff done. And maybe in the next couple of episodes you'll see my strategy start to come into form as I get those initial research technologies and those buildings that give me bonuses to research, not to mention those 2 artifacts we picked up give us 10% bonus to research each empire-wide, and that is just killer. So we are going to probably at some point pull ahead of the other races in the research department. We'll try to get the other areas such as population and then military. With me getting all those drone frigates, I'm sure the AI is got their fear bars up a little bit, so they're probably going to be really aggressive as far as manufacturing their ships and military, and they're probably going to focus more on that now that their fear bar's up, and I've got all these ships. I'm a pretty big threat. Now, whether they go into full threat assessment mode and start forming federations against me before I can wipe them out, we'll see. At this stage of the game, I can already tell that the 2 major players in this game are going to be the Cordrazine Collective, which we already have a non-aggression pact, which will hold back off, and I don't know if I'm going to do kind of like an unholy alliance with them if they offer it, so that I can hold them back so I can take out the Vulfrin, which are also going to be the other major contender in this game, and it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Now, even though I did get all those super awesome ships in the beginning, I'm not going to be able to get everybody wiped out before their technology level goes up. There is going to be some bigger, more heavy-hitting confrontations going on here, whether it's with the Cordrazine or the Vulfrin, but one of those 2, it's definitely going to be an interesting fight. Once again, we're moving groups 1 and 2 into position along with the colony ship so that we can go ahead and we're going to hit the other remnant guarded system. Group 1 consists of all my frigates that I got free on all those planets and the starting capital ship that I got, which is also a frigate, I believe. And then Group 2 is actually a non-modified ship design. It's actually one of the ones you get with the beginning of the game, which is a basic fighter scout kind of thing. It's got 3 Vulcan cannons on it, and it's ammo-based. And we just have a whole bunch of those. About 16 or so, not too many, but this definitely is enough to go ahead and knock those guys out. So very shortly, we're going to see another battle take place, which I'm sure that's the kind of thing you guys want to see anyways. Now, in this episode, we're probably going to get to the point where we're going to pick which race we're going to wipe out. I think that I've already decided that I'm going to move from this position straight on to the Dreylock Council, and I don't think they're going to be too much of a problem because they really haven't expanded. The 2 races that have expanded quite rapidly here in the beginning of the game is the Cordrazine Collective and the Vulfrin Imperium, and that's why I say they're going to be the big players in this game. You can already kind of see on the mini-map there that they already own several systems, and some of them are already building their star lanes and stuff, which I explained that I'm probably not going to be building the star lanes, and I explained why in the last episode. And then if that confrontation goes successful and I don't have to replace too many ships after that battle, I might go straight on to the Relay Devoted and try to get them down because they are not expanding as fast as the other two. And I think that we're we're not going to be able to take down the Cordrazine Collective after all this is going down. So let's go ahead and knock these remnant forces down and basically try to get ourselves another decent planet, actually one of the best planets in the game. And then depending on how many of these high tier planets we can actually capture. Ooh, okay, see, this is one of the things I do here. So see, this ship is damaged. I'm actually going to warp him out of battle to try to save him from getting destroyed. I don't like to waste those bigger ships. They're not like huge ships that early in the game, but those frigates are really important at this stage, so I like to keep them. If we can capture enough high-tier planets to where the other races are completely unable to even keep up with us, we won't need to worry about capturing the littler ones, although we may capture a couple of ones, and probably the lowest population I'll go down to is probably maybe 5, maybe 4, but I like to stay up in the high-tier level of planets. And another thing to watch out for is its ability to produce food. That to me is actually even more important than, say, production. Production is obviously a good thing, but the food, it'll just give us that population that can go way up. And then one of the research buildings, the genetics research building, is based on the population that you have on the planet. So, what do you want, polyps? The polyps would like to form a trade treaty. Yes, we'll do that, and you can see that their fear bar is up there. I'm always really mindful of the info bar in the upper left of the diplomacy screen that basically shows the trust, anger, and fear bar, and that's going to give you a good indicator of how like they're going to interact. See, like those guys feared me, so if I run into them, they might have like a big fleet, or they're more likely to fold into the other things. So that might be something I want to be mindful too of, trying to take people out. Now the polyps are really far away from me, so I don't know if I'll hit them after the relay, depending on how much they expand. We'll see how they compare to the Cordrazine and the Vulfrin. So you probably noticed there that I got a little premature with the colony ship and it moved it into position, and it was immediately attacked by one of the remnant guardians, and I just had to get the crap out of there before I lost it. That would have been kind of wasteful, and I hate to lose colony ships doing stupid things. But we pretty much have this battle wrapped up. This is the last big ship, I think, to take out in this battle. And we've got a full body fleet taking things out. Another nice thing you can do during battle, and you'll see quite often in future battles and in this battle, is you can hit the Alt key and hold it down, and you can see an indicator showing whose forces are whose. Sometimes it gets a little confusing, and you hit the Alt key and it shows, like, for example, my forces are always blue, and then these guys are green, and you'll see that little green indicator highlight above their ships and the blue highlight above my ships. Also, another thing I like to do to keep tabs on things, especially my bigger ships, is I'll hit the 1 key. That'll highlight all my ships around, and I can click and see what's being attacked the most. And then if it's being damaged too much, if its shields are down, I go ahead and just jump him out of battle. And sometimes what happens is it breaks up the fight pretty good, because the enemies will follow that ship and it like cuts their forces in half, and meanwhile my other ships cut the other forces down, and then I'll turn them around, bring it back in, and then we'll pretty much mop it up. That's another tactic you can do in this game. Sometimes the AI doesn't fall for that, but a lot of the times they will fall for that and send a whole bunch of ships out of the battle, and then you can just clean up. Later on, however, the battles get a little too insane, and because my production level will be super high with all the planets that I possess, I won't necessarily need to do such babysitting type things. But in the beginning here, I just want to babysit my little force here, because as long as I can keep it strong, I'm strong, and I can definitely knock these systems out, and I can capture these remnant guarded systems. And then, of course, here's the spoils of my labors, the planet, and pretty much I'm going to go ahead and send my colony ship over here, and we're going to go ahead and colonize this planet, and I'll have my second planet colonized, which is a really good planet, and that's going to help things along. And then I got to get my transports going, and I'm going to start transporting population and stuff. Okay, this is really great. I was hoping this would happen. So we just got the unlock for the secret remnant technologies, and we're basically going to be able to research some of those super powerful remnant technologies, and I really like to have those, especially that small micro reactor. But like I had mentioned earlier in a previous episode, that was nerfed. Actually, that was like so powerful that you could place down like a bunch of them in a smaller space than the antimatter reactors or the engineering power cores. and they would actually produce more power than them, so it made them kind of a little OP, but I really like them. Kind of like that, and they kind of should be like that because they're secret technologies, and you can't get them every time. So I don't know if I, really agree with the nerf on that because, I don't know, they're secret technologies, right? And another world conquered. Awesome. Well, not conquered, taken, basically, but... this battle seemed like it was a much more involved, and it seemed like there was a lot more ships. This was much harder than the last one, it seems. Kind of makes sense because this world was a 19 population world, and yeah, it makes sense that the other ones. I think the other one was like a 17 or 15 population world. And on to the next thing. So we're going to send our main forces over to the Dreylock homeworld, and then we're going to send Group 2 back to the main world to rearm. And now is the time to assemble our fancy bomber wing into a group so that we can knock out the Dreylock. See how confident I am? I'm assuming a lot. That's assuming that they haven't freaked out about my big thing and all they've been doing this entire time is building ships while I was scooting around the galaxy and finding anomalies and stuff. So we're just going to have to see what we find when we get across them. I kind of can't wait until we have a forward or secondary staging world where we can rearm our ships. That's probably not going to happen for a little while because it's so early in the game and I'm being so very aggressive. So basically after all these fights we have to go back to our home world and rearm, and we're going to have to do that with our bomber wing too. They're going to have to rearm at the home world and then go out to another fight. And that's another reason or critical thing why I put all warp engines on that bomber. That's why I call it the jump bomber, so it can get from one place to another place really quickly. And that's going to play a huge role because those ships tend to run out of ammo pretty quickly because there's not enough slots to put ammo stuff in them. And later on we get really cool technology that actually converts energy into weapons. And that's where your bombers really start to shine because you can pretty much go off and do your battle without having to return to any place to rearm and repair. It's also why I like to use energy-based weapons, so I pretty much don't go with missiles or ballistics. You're going to probably see me go down the energy weapon tree, and we're just going to, do that. And plus, since we have the energy, or not energy, but the remnant technologies unlocked, we have those nice power cores, which we can stick on our fighters and smaller slot types, so we can basically just... load up on energy weapons and go to town. So we'll be seeing that. Of course, like with the shield systems and stuff, like the energy-based ships are very power hungry. So now that we have a couple of worlds up and running, we have to build our transport ships so that we can bootstrap them and get them running really quickly. So basically I'm going to set them to transport population, and because they're such good worlds, we don't really have to worry about transferring food and stuff over. Another thing you can transfer over is production, and that's kind of a cool thing if you want to get things done really rapidly and stuff, but those are going to be really kind of self-sufficient worlds. And I've kind of a little bit been neglecting my spies, but that's also based on money. So here, let's take a look at the anomalies I've unlocked: the Spice of the Sleeper, the Ascension Crystal, and the Quantanium Lathe. And it looks like none of the other races got any artifacts, and that is... I did my job at the beginning. I was so aggressive, they didn't get a single one. Oh man, and I'm sorry guys, we're almost at our 15 minutes and we're not going to get to the point where we're actually going to do battle with the first race, because that would carry on for a little bit longer. I almost should do another half-hour an episode, but we're actually not going to do our next episode until Monday. So I hope to see you guys Monday to check out the next episode. Thank you for watching the DX Gamer Show and my Stardrive Let's Play. I'll see you guys Monday. Take care.